This is a good chance to move a bill on. They called our office, Senator Franken's office, got a call from Stabenow. She said, Senator Franken, you're a farm state senator, give us your 4 or 5 top issues for a farm bill. We'll try and get them in there. So we were having input on that, and indeed a farm bill was written and put together. I've not seen it. Most people haven't seen it, but I know it's sitting in Debbie Stabenow and Lucas's top drawers of their desk in their office somewhere. I'm sure it's there. So we've got a nice base for that. Long story short, that committee fell apart, right? Nothing got done, farm bill didn't get passed. So here we are, fast forward, February of 2012. Farm bill is set to expire at the end of this fiscal year. So by October 1st, the farm bill's done. There's no funding, it's set off to the side. So now is the time, the pressure's on, you need to do something, right? I think there's some political realities that are coming into play. Debbie Stabenow is up for election, as is the entire House of Representatives. If you hold the gavel, you want to go home and say, I did my work, right? True, no matter what level of government you're at, people want you to get things done. So I think politically, a lot of people want to move the bill now. Senator Franken and others think the stars are aligned. We've got a basis for a bill. Most of the groups are tending to coalesce around some ideas that I think they can all accept, and it appears that we're ready to hopefully move something out. Now another unique thing that's going on this year, if you're tracking the farm bill, usually it starts in the House of Representatives. They write the bill and they send it up to the Senate for approval or amendments, and then they send it on to the President. This year it looks like the Senate will start the bill. That's why we're seeing hearings already in the Senate this month and next month. And we think they'll start it. Why is that? Well, Lucas and Colin have been around a while, right? They're savvy. They've been there 20 plus years each. They've been through a lot of politics and farm bills and other things. They recognize that the House committee in Washington is about 50% first-time members. Never been on an ag committee, never written a farm bill. Some of them maybe don't even really have agriculture backgrounds. So they look at the makeup of the House, and bipartisanly, I think the leadership says, maybe we should start in the Senate. A lot of these folks, whether you agree or not, it doesn't matter, were elected to cut government. They're a little nervous about starting the government cutting in the House Ag Committee, right? So you look at the Senate Committee, contrary to that, there's at least 4 chairs or former chairs on there. You've got Stabenow, who's the chair. You've got Roberts was the chair when he was in the House. You got Grassley, you got Harkin. All these people have been ag chairs, and they sit on the committee. So the thought is the Senate can probably put together a fairly thoughtful, moderate, well-meaning, well-placed, well-accepted bill and move it out with little or no problem in the Senate. And then we'll send it over to the House where Lucas and Colin can say, okay, here's the bill, boys and girls. You know, let's not monkey with it. The Senate already passed it. We got agreement. If we can do minor tweaks and adjustments, well, let's not do wholesale changes. Maybe we can get this done. So that's kind of the political reality. Other dates you should be looking at. If you're tracking farm bill, there's some natural cutoffs in the year, right? So the Senate has started hearings. The first natural cutoff is Memorial Day. All the senators and House members come home for break over Memorial Day. That should be kind of a place to look for the Senate activity to be ramping up. Out of committee hearings at the end of March, and then maybe markup and debate on the floor before Memorial Day. Okay? Then from there, the next natural break is what? 4th of July. Okay, there's a big break where people come home for the 4th of July holiday. Look then for the House to have some activity up till that time. Now, the question is, what happens after that if it's not done? The next big date that I think is the next big date after that to look at is election day, right? So this is an election year. No one's pretending that it gets easier to write legislation in an election year, and particularly a presidential election year with the presidential politics. So as the days go by after the 4th of July into August or early September or Labor Day, it gets harder and harder and harder, to the point that maybe it doesn't get done at that point. So that's why people, I think, right now are thinking things are right and we ought to start moving it. What happens if we don't get it done? We know it expires, right? Well, there's a couple options. After Election Day, everyone comes back for 2 more months after November. Everyone's still in office, and the new president and new Congress don't come in until January. So you've got what's called a lame duck session where you can pass things. So I suspect if they don't get it done early in the first half of the year, you may look at a lame duck session as an opportunity before everything changes, or obviously you can do an extension of 6 months or a year and move it into the next Congress. The fact is, though, we have to have a farm bill, right? For a number of reasons. First of all, it's dictated. If you don't have a farm bill and don't take any activity to extend the current farm bill, number one, it puts you all in a pickle or a jam, right? I'm using food words now, so we're talking about farm bill, pickle, jam. All right, anyway. It puts all you need to know what to do next spring. This fall, you're going to be done planting, you'll be done harvesting, crops will be in the bin, and now you're planning for next year. If there's no farm bill, you can't do that, right? Also, in federal statute says if you don't have a farm bill and don't do any extensions, it reverts back to the first farm bill ever written in 1933. What was going on in 1933 if you had a farm bill, remember? Yeah, and we were coming off a depression, there was a dust bowl, right? So Congress, in their wisdom, decided we got to do something to help farmers. My grandpa Junkie lost his farm in Redwood County in the 30s, right? A lot of people were in dire straits, so they said we will have a farm bill for food security, for the security of our farm families, for food safety, whatever. We need a farm bill. And if Congress, you ever don't do or act on one or do extensions or whatever, reverts back to the first one. We'll never not have one. By the way, I think the first dairy bill was 1949. So it goes back to the first dairy bill too. Nobody wants to do that, okay? So there is some pressure to do a farm bill and to do it right now. Some of the other things, now let me get into what's in the farm bill so we can talk about that a little bit. First thing, and